With her son Noah by her side, Lila returned to her homeland and stepped into a new chapter, one built on trust, healing, and courage. The island welcomed her the way it always had, with open skies, warm breezes, and the kind of sunlight that softened even the hardest memories. Yet beneath the beauty, Lila felt the quiet hum of anticipation. Weddings had a way of magnifying everything: joy, hope, and the shadows that followed close behind. The morning began with birdsong and the scent of salt in the air. Lila woke early, her heart steady but full. She lay still for a moment, listening to Noah's gentle breathing on the cot beside her bed. He was 4 now, taller, chattier, curious about everything. When he stirred and smiled, Lila felt the calm she had been praying for settle over her like a blessing. "Noah, is today the day?" "Lila, yes, today." "Noah, I'm going to wear the special clothes." Lila laughed, the sound light and genuine. She whispered a prayer as she rose, gratitude for the journey, courage for whatever came next. Outside, the house buzzed with activity. Aunts fluttered between rooms with garment bags and trays of food. Cousins argued over who would help decorate the arch by the sea. Her mother moved quietly, a steady presence, offering calm when the noise rose too high. There was no extravagance, just intention. White fabric, woven flowers, seashells gathered at dawn. Everything felt honest. "John, you ready, buddy?" "Noah, I get to walk." "John, you're the most important part." That tenderness, the way John centered Noah without effort, had become Lila's anchor. Messages arrived, as expected. Not many, but enough to remind Lila that peace had not erased opposition. Micah's mother sent a brief note. "We're watching. Remember what matters." Lila read it once and put the phone away. She had learned that fear lost its power when it wasn't fed. Micah himself sent a single line: "Travel safe. Noah looks happy." It wasn't warmth, but it wasn't hostility either. Lila accepted it for what it was: neutral ground. As the afternoon approached, the sky softened into blues and golds. Guests gathered quietly. The sea whispered against the shore. When Lila walked toward the arch, the world seemed to slow. John waited at the front, his expression open and unguarded. Noah stood between them, clutching his small bouquet, looking proud and serious. Lila's steps were steady. She did not feel like a woman escaping her past. She felt like a woman standing on truth. "John, I promise to choose you, not just when it's easy, but when it's hard. Lila, I promise to walk forward with honesty, to protect what we build, to love bravely." When Noah handed the flowers to Lila and John together, the crowd laughed softly, tears mingling with smiles. It felt symbolic. This family formed not by accident, but by intention. As the officiant pronounced them married, applause rippled like waves. Lila felt a release she hadn't known she was holding. The past loosened its grip. Love had won, here at least. The reception unfolded under lantern light. Music drifted through the warm evening air, and laughter rose and fell, soft then bright again. Lila danced barefoot with Noah, spinning until he squealed with delight. John watched them for a moment, then joined in, the three of them moving together in an easy rhythm, just soaking in the joy of the moment. They left the next morning for a smaller island, just the three of them. A honeymoon that included a child was, a bit unconventional, but it felt right. Noah pressed his face to the airplane window, marveling at the water below. The days were gentle. Mornings began with fruit and laughter. Afternoons stretched lazy and sunlit. Noah learned to float, with John teaching him patiently, while Lila watched from the shore, her heart full. At night, when Noah slept, Lila and John talked. They spoke about faith, about boundaries, about the reality of co-parenting and the weight it carried. They didn't pretend it would be easy. They named the challenges and, well, planned anyway. Lila said, "We don't owe anyone our fear." John replied, "No, but we owe Noah our best." That became their compass. Midweek, the phone rang. It was Micah. Lila hesitated, then answered, with John staying close, offering silent support. Micah said, "I heard you're still there." Lila replied, "Yes. We're on our honeymoon." Micah asked, "Noah, okay?" Lila answered, "He's happy, he's safe." Then Micah said, "My mother wants to speak to him." Lila reminded him, "We agreed on calls at scheduled times." Micah responded, "I know, she's anxious." Lila set the boundary, "We'll call on Sunday." Micah simply said, "Okay." When the call ended, Lila felt the ripple beneath the surface. The storm had not vanished. It had learned to wait. John told her, "You handled that." Lila admitted, "I'm tired of being tested." John replied, "Tests don't define you. Your responses do." The next days brought, honestly, a grounding kind of joy. A local festival filled the streets with drums and color. Noah danced with strangers, fearless and bright. Elders smiled at him, calling him sunshine. Lila felt the old temptation return, the urge to stay, to linger where life felt simpler. But she knew better now. Home wasn't a place. It was a practice. On their final evening, they shared a quiet dinner by the sea. Noah fell asleep on John's shoulder. Lila watched them, the past loosening its grip a little more. Lila asked, "Do you think it will ever stop? The watching?" John answered, "Maybe not, but we can stop letting it steer us." She nodded. That was the work. The message came the night before they were to leave. An email from a lawyer. "We've been made aware of concerns regarding Noah's travel and living arrangements. Please contact us upon your return." Lila stared at the screen, her heart pounding. The calm shattered, not violently, but decisively. John said, "They're testing boundaries again." Lila replied, "Yes, but boundaries are stronger when they're clear." She closed the laptop and looked at Noah sleeping between them, peaceful and unaware. Lila asked, "Will this new beginning bring calm?" John said, "It already has. The question is whether we'll protect it." Outside, the sea rolled on, unchanged, eternal. Storms came and went. The shore remained. Lila breathed deeply. Love had won the day, but vigilance would keep the night, to be continued